Hello everyone, this is Direwolf20 and welcome to episode 47 of Direwolf20's Let's Play series. I had a lot of fun last episode upgrading my Botania system. So our whole Botania area has kind of changed from the way it was the episode prior. If we went over here and took a look, you'd see a lot of cool things happening. So this Botania Spark is charging up the Spark downstairs, which is going to be basically my mana pool, which will serve as a mana battery, if you will. It'll be like the charging point, and it'll focus on getting these mana pools filled up. So both of these guys are currently doing their best to fill up, and we've got a bit of a ways to go before they're done, but that's okay. Meanwhile, all of our mana pulses are occurring here. We've got the TNT flowers going. I tossed a couple more pieces of TNT in there just to test a few things out, and I actually shrunk down into bat mode. It was funny, I was kind of running around getting ready to record the episode. I put a sound muffler down there because as I was getting ready to run around and explode the episode, I heard like an explosion, and I'm like, what's that? What's blowing up near my house? Is there a creeper outside? And I ran around looking outside. All right, there's no holes. And then like a minute later, I heard another explosion. And I'm like, what's blowing up? And then I'm like, oh, right. I built like a little TNT explosion thing. So the sound muffler down there, as you can tell, is significantly dampening the sound of that explosion. I could have brought it up a little bit higher. The reason I put it down there is I kind of wanted it to kill the explosion sound, but I didn't want to kill all the sounds in this area. So we've still got the sound of mana bursts and everything, but the sound muffler could get rid of those sounds for you as well, if that was something that you needed to have happen. So the portal is currently closed, as you can see. I could reopen it if I needed to, but I don't think I need it right at this moment. Well, actually, I might want it actually for something. It might be a cool idea. There's a couple things I want to get done this episode, and opening the portal might be on my to-do list, because let's do this, and let's find that stone stuff. Let's request a little bit more stone. All right, I lost track of where it was, so... that sounds like a good amount of stone to make. All right, let me turn this stuff, come down here and get these things cooking. There we go. And we'll be back in a minute when we're ready to get the next thing. I would like to upgrade this mana spreader. Alright guys, so let's get ourselves some stuff. Now, unfortunately, we're still waiting for this backlog of mana to occur, right? So right now, these are the two priority mana pools. I could throw... see, I want this to be the input one. I should have another pool that gets priority as well. How do I want to handle that? See, this one we really expect to be empty most of the time, so we should have another mana pool that's also kind of a priority. I was thinking about making it this one, because he's the one who's, shooting his mana pool right up into the runic altar, so that might not be a bad idea. Did I have another spark augment? See, if I put a dominant augment on there, which would require another rune of fire, which I think I've got, and a mana pearl, and a mana steel ingot. Alright, let's open this portal up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to toss some living wood in there along with this as well. So let's toss this in first. And then get myself a mana steel ingot, if I can. See, he can't sneak onto that thing. There we go. That works. What I'll do is just craft another dominant spark augment and place it on this mana pool. So he will still be kind of a battery. Well, the other ones will be, but this one, until I get another setup here, but this one will no longer, spread out to the other, or, let go of its mana to the others. And I'm still having a little bit of an issue with these things. Jumping into my inventory here. I have to figure out why that might be happening. Might need to speed up the timer here. Yeah, every 1 second we'll stick with that and see how it goes, see if it behaves a little better. But yeah, so what I'm going to do is, like I showed you guys, right? So this thing should be dispersing to everybody. All his mana. And this thing should be starting to get a surplus and no longer distributing his mana over to those things. Cool. So let's get some mana steel ingots real quick. I don't even have enough mana at the moment. Ha, look at that. So I'll just get it from here for now. And like I said, once we build up a good surplus, we'll be in better shape. And I'm going to toss, I believe it's 2 of these to get an elementium ingot. Nice. There we go. Sweet. And living wood, I think, is a 1-for-1 trade. So if I toss living wood in there, I'll get dreamwood. Nice. So let's get a bunch of dreamwood. That might not be a terrible idea. I don't think you have to drop them in one at a time, but never hurts. So that thing should start spitting out dreamwood for me. Awesome. So while that's doing that, let's get ourselves... Looks like I have a lot of light blue flowers, so we'll convert those into mana petals. Cool. And what I want to make is... I want to do a mana spreader. There's the Elven mana spreader, which requires a mana-infused petal, so light blue, that'll work. And for some reason it decided to steal those items out of there, so we'll put them back. And ta-da! We get Elven mana spreaders. Sweet. So these guys are better than your standard mana spreaders. They'll be able to transfer items much faster than standard spreaders can. So if we check out the mana situation down here at the moment, you can see this thing's kind of full on mana. That means he's accepting more mana than he can spread at the moment. So let's break him. And instead, we're going to place this guy here. Now we might have to go downstairs for a minute and rebind all of these. And that's not hard, right? We just put this thing into bind mode. Shift right click him. And there you go. And I really have to figure out why this isn't working all of a sudden, but oh well. You are now bound to this thing. Cool. And this guy... So I guess what I'll do is give me a minute and I will rebind all of these. It'll just take me a moment and that'll be a little not so entertaining for the moment. So I'll be back in a minute when these are all bound again. Make sure they're all bound to the right spreader. That's kind of important. And this one. There we go. And then I can bind this guy to here. And he should be able to, once I put the phantom lens back on, transfer mana again. So we'll see if we have enough mana spreading action going on here. And we should be in good shape. Cool. So yeah, random items keep going here. I'm going to have to figure that out. So anyway, is this thing... So yeah, see how the mana inside the Elven mana spreader is no longer kind of full all the time? That means that the Elven mana spreader is transferring mana faster than the 8 flowers down here are generating it. Which means we're not kind of lagging behind on the mana production, right? So we're in much better shape. Nice. So, we'll be back in a minute once we're ready. Is this thing behaving and acting dominant? You would think. Well, he's actually not spreading anymore. Interesting. Alright. Well, I'll get this thing working again, and then we'll be back. Alright guys, managed to fix it. I want to show you what I did real quick for the factory manager. So before, I had a condition checking for any of this stuff. And if so, it would try to output wood and stone. I think it was pushing them both at the same time, which I didn't think it should do, but it is apparently. So now we go to the input, which is the chest, and then we output just stone, and then we check again for the same condition. And as long as none of those items are there, if that's false, then we output just wood. Okay, so we're doing stone and then wood. We basically separated it, and we only put the wood there if there's nothing else already there. Cool. So real quick fix to that, and it seems to be behaving better. Also, recessive pools do not distribute to dominant pools, as I'm just learning here. So you can see that's why this mana pool isn't growing. So if we take a look down here, we'll see this mana pool is. So if we wanted to, what we could do is just kind of leave. What I'm going to do is make another mana pool. Get this down here, and then I just need to put a spark on it. So we're going to need 6 of these guys, 1 of these, and some kind of flowers that are upgraded. Cool. And I believe it's something like this. Sweet. So now this guy is going to be kind of like a battery, if you will, and this one's going to be dominant in that, you know, he's where I'm going to go to charge stuff. I'll eventually move a mana pool up here. That will be responsible for activating the Runic Altar and charging things. Maybe I'll put it like here or something. Or even, heck, why not here, right? But for now, I'll just leave it as is. And, you know, if I need to do anything for now, I can just move it. But this will be good. Cool. So the portal's open. Is there anything else I need while I've got that guy? I don't think so. So I'm going to actually make a quick shut-off for the portal. So it is much cheaper to... Oh, I should do the Elven Mana Spreaders. I wanted to replace these guys both as well, just because it's taking a while for them to transfer stuff. So what I was thinking is we could do Elven Mana Spreaders. So we'll put these both down, and we're going to want to bind new stuff. So you are bound to this one, right? Bind to this guy. Done. Oh, we're wasting TNT here. You're bound to this one. This thing can be bound to here. Now that should stop the flow of stuff for a minute. And this thing can be bound to here. And we just need our Phantom Mana lenses, and now they'll start behaving a little better. Now our timer is going to reset again. So no more wasting TNT. Whoops. But anyway, that's good because it'll basically mean that we can transfer the mana from the Entropiniums faster now, courtesy of these upgraded Mana Spreaders. There is a higher tier Mana Spreader, by the way. It is the Gaia Mana Spreader, but you require a Gaia Spirit, which you can only get from the boss of Botania, which we're not ready really to fight right now, unless we want to die a horrible and painful death, which I don't. So, cool. So I think our Botania room's in good shape. Let's real quick get a shut-off system for the portal. It's really easy, and it's a vanilla mechanic of all things. We just need a sticky piston. That's all. So we'll make one of these, and we'll make one of these, and a lever, and some red alloy wire, just in case we want it to be extra cool. Let's see. Where do we want this thing to be? I know where I want it to be. Yes, perfect. We can do it underground. That sound good? So that'll be well hidden. So now all we need to do if we want to get rid of this, and in fact, instead of... all my stone's done converting. Let's do this. So we'll probably actually want a NOT gate here for this thing. And it occurs to me that as I'm making a lot of these gates, I should do something similar to what I did with the setup with the thing downstairs, this thing, for all the gate components, but I think there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so I could probably throw them in there. That wouldn't be a terrible thing. But for now, let's have the button like up here, let's say. So we'll basically want to have a bit of a NOT gate here. Ta-da! And red alloy wire running up. With a button here. So I think the intention is that you always have the portal open, right? Because it takes far more mana to open the portal than it does to keep it open. But if I'm not going to be interacting with it that much, I'm not a fan of it being open all the time. So me personally, let's have a button to close it, right? So covers on either side to make sure it looks nice. There we go. Well, do I have any dirt here that could cover this up? I'll get some more dirt to fill that in later, because we don't need it there anymore. And now, all we need is a button right here. So when the pulse occurs, it'll disable the NOT gate for just a second, and ta-da! Quick, pull down, push back up, kills the portal. Nice, right? Awesome. All right, so if you guys have noticed, frequently I need to run back to my base to access items. Luckily, Applied Energistics makes that not so necessary, and that's the next thing I want to work on and show you guys how it works. So in order to have a wireless AE system in AE2, you need to have a security station. And if you're worried about world downloads, don't worry, I'm going to tell you that it's okay. It'll be just fine, I promise. So first things first, let's craft ourselves 3 4K storage components, which are probably getting crafted around here somewhere. You can see it's scheduled some more Certus quartz for us since we're going to be using a bunch of it. Cool. In the process of this, we're going to actually take a look at making, let's see, is the 4K done yet? One of them is. We'll let the rest finish. So the security station that we want to make requires the following: a 16K storage and an ME chest. The ME chest isn't too bad, but I am going to need an ME terminal, which requires the 2 formation and annihilation. So we'll craft like 4 of these. And 4 of these, just to have a few on hand, wouldn't hurt. Oh, no processors available. We're currently cooking a lot of stuff. Don't I keep... Wow, I burned through my pure Certus real fast, didn't I? Guess that's what happens when you craft 3 4K storage cells. Alright, I guess I'll come back when my pure Certus is done cooking. Maybe I should keep 64 on hand. Alright, so making a 16K storage, not terribly easy, but also not terribly hard. And hopefully I can make my ME chest now. Let's see. I have most of the stuff still waiting on a formation core, which I guess is still in the process of crafting some stuff. No pure Certus quartz done yet? Oh, we're there. So we're just waiting on a little bit of crafting still. All right. One thing I was thinking about is maybe having another 4K crafting unit here, but I guess I can go ahead and do that in the future. Well, let's try it real quick. And then a coprocessor. And I think I've got enough cable for this. Because I happen to be looking right here and notice that I've got one more channel available. So I think if I just pop the coprocessor and this down and this, we should have enough channels for this, right? Will you connect into that, or do I have to run through here? Nope, there we go. We lit up, so that's cool. So you should be online. Awesome. Cable facade, cobblestone with the T-type symbol. There we go. Nice, right? So now we've got an extra bit of auto crafting capable for us. Let's go ahead and get that ME chest. Well, we'll get the security station first. So we should be able to get an ME chest here with this guy. This all should be done, that's what I'm assuming. There we go, ME chest and security station now. Just might need some cables. And the 16K storage device right here. Cool, so that's step 1, get a security station down. Now real quick, we have to figure out where we want to put it. So these guys are all full on channels now because I just added this. I was going to put it here and then, oh right, I just put something else there instead. Whoops. That's okay, no big deal. We've got plenty of channel available to us. What I'm going to do is place it kind of somewhere out of the way because I shouldn't need to do much with it too often. It's one of those machines that I'm rarely going to have to access. So a good spot for it might actually be right there. Cool. So we've got a security station ready. Nice. And we've got one more channel in use there, as you can see. No biggie. We'll pop back upstairs now. And we want is a security card. So let's take a look at those. So it's going to be memory card, biometric card. Alright, I have to remember the name of the thing. It might be actually the biometric one. Yeah, that's it. Well, looks like we need a diamond processor. So let's get just a few of these cooked up. Diamonds go in. Processors come out. That is cool. I love automation. Alright, so here's the trick. You ready? Now, normally what you would want to do is bind this to yourself. Okay. However, what I'm going to do instead of binding it to myself, all right, which would allow only me to access the AE system, I want to make sure this doesn't break for world downloads when you guys want to try it. So I was told by Fireball, who's currently maintaining this, if you put a blank biometric card in here, then I believe like this, and give the blank card access to everything, we should mean that anybody can access the AE system. And we can test this because if I can still access it, then anybody can. Nice. Looks like I can still access it. Awesome. So having a blank card in there equals win. So now what we want is a wireless terminal. Let's take a look at what we need to get a wireless access point. So we're going to need, for a wireless access point, a wireless receiver. And we're going to need two of these because we're also going to need one for the wireless terminal that we want. And we're going to need a calculation processor and glass. So this isn't too bad. Quartz fiber, iron, and a Fluix pearl, which I think we should be able to handle. All we need is about 8 Fluix dust. So let's request 10. Oh, we're missing charged Certus quartz crystal. Really? All right, looks like it's time to add the charging station, this guy, to the automation system that we've got going. So let's go find a spot for him to be automated. I'm thinking downstairs somewhere, but I guess we'll find out. And I think I should also add a few more diamonds to this thing. Just want to make sure this thing still runs. Good, it does. I didn't break anything by removing this. All right, let's get the charger added to the auto crafting system somewhere. Where could I potentially do this? I think I've got one more channel available right here. So if I want to sneak him down here, I should be able to do that. All right, let's get a crafting card and an ME interface. And we'll probably also want some conduits. These guys. The interface should be done by now. And what I'm going to do is Certus quartz equals charged Certus quartz. So we're going to want to snag one of these and get ready to charge them, actually. So let's get one more. So what we'll probably want is to break this, put an ME interface here instead. There we go. That reconnects everything to the system. Charger here. This is where the card will go. And we're going to want to set it up so that this thing outputs whatever he creates back into here. And I believe the output is the bottom if we want to automate him. Might be out the back. We can try the back. Let's try that first. So we'll do this to this. And all we have to do is say that, yes, your extract mode always active and you are insert. If that works, cool. If not, it might have to be out the bottom. So we'll put that in there. Contains Certus quartz crystal. That's right, we need to give it power. Did you charge it? He might have charged it. The interface might be supplying it with power. We'll find out if there is a charged Certus quartz in there. Awesome. Cool. So real quick and easy, we should be able to say that Certus quartz crystal equals charged Certus quartz crystal, and find the interface for the charger, which is this guy. We'll put this pattern in here. And now if we request, for example, 10 of these, start, we should start getting some. There we go. Awesome, it's working. That's what I want to see. All right, so let's get our Fluix dust again. Now we've got charged Certus, so that should quickly drop into there. Cool. And that should be getting ground up. And now we can get our wireless receiver. Flux dust takes a long time to grind. That's okay, because we're pretty much done. With the first one at least. Now I should be able to craft one of these, which will get turned into one of these. And then we can pop him down. I'm going to put him right next to, I kind of want him to be somewhat centrally located in my area. And if you look on the map, you can see that this is somewhat of a central point where I'm at, because I can pretty much access all this stuff. So as long as he's got a good enough range, I think we'll be all right. I'm going to pop him down right here. There we go. Sweet. So his current range is 16 meters. His energy use is 16 RF per tick, so he does actually use a bit of power just to exist. We can augment him with wireless boosters. We're going to need some ender dust and some fluix pearls and some pure certus there. So we'll take a look at that, augmenting his range. Right now he has about a 16 block range. What I can do then is get another fluix pearl. Hopefully all that stuff is crafted, and I can get myself the wireless terminal. Nice. So I don't have any of the things I need for that. Let's get one of these, and let's also get a dense energy cell, which requires 8 energy cells. Oh boy. That's where things get complicated with this recipe. I knew it was going to get hard at some point. So we're going to need some fluix dust and quartz. We're going to need 8 quartz glass, and we're going to need 32 fluix dust. Wow. Okay. Back in about 5 minutes once this is done crafting up. All right, hopefully I've got enough for this. I think I do, though. Sweet. And this guy can be turned into a dense one of these, which then can be used to make the following. We need one of these with some quartz fiber. Some stuff must be crafted at the moment. There it is. And now I've got a wireless way to access my AE system from, I don't want to say anywhere, but a pretty good range. Right now, just the 16 blocks, but we'll have a longer range soon. All right, we're going to need some more. Didn't I make this thing already? I guess I did not. Could have sworn I did, but oh well. Must have used up some of the dust while it was crafting. Also, I found out I didn't have an octadic capacitor in my grinder down there, so that's part of the reason that the fluix dust was taking so long. See? Much faster now. Except that I think something else is crafting at the moment. There we go. You see, I did have a wireless receiver. Then why didn't you... Okay. I must have derped. It is RF powered, so you can see it's charging up here. Woot. And I now have access to my AE system from anywhere, provided that I'm about 16 blocks. The only thing we have to do is drop down into the security station and place this thing right here. Boom. And it's going to bind this wireless terminal now is linked to this AE network. And we should be good to go. Sweet. So you can't craft with it. You can auto craft. So, right, if I wanted to have like fluix, I could easily auto craft stuff and tell the AE system to craft a fluix dust and it would find a processor. So it acts just like a terminal. You just can't use it like a crafting table. So you can't do like, you know, this, right, and put stuff in here and craft. But otherwise, it works pretty well. I like it. And because it's AE powered, anytime you use it, it's going to automatically recharge itself. Cool. So when you pull items out, it's going to drain a little bit of power, but it's going to quickly recharge itself, courtesy of it being, you know, RF charging with Ender IO. Neat. So now if I happen to be out at my Botania area and I need some stuff, or if there's a creeper attacking me, you know, one of those two scenarios, might still be in 16 block range, might not be. All right. There we go. So I can upgrade the range as we saw. Let's get a couple range upgrades. I don't know what the limit is, but we're going to find out in a minute because I'm going to make a bunch of them. Because I basically want to have this wireless range be pretty darn good. So we're going to need some ender pearl powder, and we're going to need some fluix dust. So let's just grind this up. I'm pretty sure it's something like throw it in a sag mill and you get some ender dust. 1 for 1, okay. I think you get more if you smelt it, maybe? That's with portal gun installed, so I might be wrong about that. Yeah, we don't have portal gun installed, and you can't smelt, so I guess that's the best way you can go. But if you come down here, you'll see that when you install this in the wireless thing, it is going to use more power, I assume. Yep, so we're up to 20 RF per tick, but we've got an 18-meter range, so definitely better. I don't know what the stack size is on those wireless boosters, but we'll find out in a bit. Let's get some more Fluix dust. Let's get like 10 of them. That sound good? And then we'll be in good shape. I feel like that'll be awesome. And I guess while we're at it, we're going to want like 10 of these. You know what? Let's get 16. So I'll add 6 to the crafting queue. While that's being sag milled up there, we'll sag mill these down over here. $16 might be the limit. Like I said, I'm not 100% sure what the stacking size is. And since there's only one slot in there, I assume once we have a full stack of them, then we're done. Alright, well that made 32, so that's kind of good. It definitely stacks up to 32. 34, nice. So, yeah, 214 block range at 458 RF per tick. Well, that's kind of high. Actually, I thought it was like, it seemed like 1 block at a time, right? Because when I put 2 in there, it was an 18 block range. But I guess it really quickly speeds up because with 10 in there, that's definitely more than plus 10, isn't it? Sweet. Well, 80 range seems good at 80 RF per tick. So that's a pretty good power use there. But it means that when I'm 80 blocks away from that wireless transmitter, so let's say, for example, I'm all the way over here in my Thaumcraft room, I should still be able to access my A network and pull out Greatwood logs and what have you. Sweet. I like it. Alright. We will be back in a minute. Alright guys, I feel like this is probably a good wrapping up point for the episode. We accomplished some good stuff today. We fixed this thing that wasn't working properly. We got all these upgraded to Elven mana spreaders. We upgraded our mana pool storage here. We will eventually, as this continues to run, and we're getting even more mana, we're getting mana faster now because we're using the Elven mana spreaders. We're probably out of TNT down there, but I don't really want to use any more quartz or gunpowder because we're getting rather low. But long story short, we should probably soon have a way to get a lot of that. I can add more wireless boosters at some point. That should be fine. Once I have more of a stable power gen system. This thing is actually working really well for us. But what's our current power use going on? Right around 330-ish? And I don't think my zombie spawner is going over at the other area, so keep that in mind. We're using quite a bit of power at this point. We'll need some more soon. The other thing we're going to need more of soon is Certus quartz. It looks like we're down to about 30 of those guys. That's not good. Let's turn on our this thingy, and this will get our quarry going again, which would be a good thing for us. Let's go see how our quarry situation is. Kind of interested in how well we're doing. I'm going to take a flight around here real quick. I mean, that's pretty good. Take a second for the chunks to load around me. But this thing's running once again, which means it must be mining somewhere. There it is. Cool. So this is the spot that it's mining at, right next to a witch's house. We have plenty of stuff to mine faster still, but it's taking a long time to mine. I'm thinking it might be time to get an upgraded system here. We could put a speed upgrade on this thing. So the speed upgrade is pretty expensive though. You're going to need some diamond picks with efficiency 5, as well as a few other things. This guy is a diamond pick with efficiency 3, and this guy is a diamond pick with 1. So we need quite a few things to get a speed upgrade, and it'll also double the power use, which might be actually pretty bad for us because we're using a lot of power as it is on this quarry. So we might need to come up with a new creative way to quarry. You guys have seen me build many a frame quarry in the past. It might be time for that. But I don't want to do the same one I did on Forgecraft recently, so I'm going to see if I can come up with a better design. So I don't know if it'll be better necessarily, but at least different and equally as awesome. Anyway, for now, Direwolf20 signing off. Hope you enjoyed the episode. As always, take it easy.